President Trump today declared on Twitter that North Korea no longer poses a nuclear threat to the United States. His critics were quick to point out that the Hermit Kingdom still has its nukes. And then earlier this evening, special report anchor Brett Baer asked the president, how can he be so sure?
And so verification, you're confident you can set up the system?
Totally confident. And if we can't have a deal.
Let's make a deal, baby. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says the president made it very clear to Kim Jong-un that the full verification would be necessary in order for the U.S. to freeze its war games with South Korea. And all of this comes as two Norwegian lawmakers nominated the president for the Nobel Prize. So does President Trump deserve the top honor, or are we putting the Copenhagen cart before the horse? Joining me now, co-host of The Five on the Fox News channel, Juan Williams is here, and former Utah congressman and Fox News contributor, Jason Chaffetz. Welcome, gentlemen.
Nice to be with you.
Here's what I think, Juan. It doesn't matter what the president came back with. The Democrats said we will be so supportive. We are so excited for peace on the Korean Peninsula. It wouldn't matter what he signed or if they wrestled shirtless in a vat of extra virgin olive oil. There would have been naysaying.
Wow,
from the
I want to
Democrats.
see that. I tell you, that'd be some fun. That'd be a reality show. But here's the thing. The president set a pretty high bar. In a way, I think he was even unfair to himself, because he said basically the goal is denuclearization of North Korea. That's not what happened, obviously. He came back and he didn't even have anything in this. I guess it's not technically a pact or a deal, but it was like an acknowledgement or an agreement of some kind. And it says, we're going to stop our, and I'm amazed he used their language, war games rather than military exercises, in exchange for this vague promise that, yeah, we're going to work on denuclearization.
Yes, but if he had come back with a full document that laid out every single point, you would have said that that was a rush, that that was too quick, too much.
No,
too
the
soon.
question was, would I have believed it, Kennedy, because the North Koreans are known to go back on a deal. They've done it 3 or 4 times with other presidents. I just hope the guy didn't get suckered. That's
all right. Was this the best case scenario?
Yeah, I mean, the world is safer this week than it was the week before. This is far better than what President Obama did with the Iran nuclear deal. They didn't even get signatures on that one. It was done in secret. The President Trump is doing is all out in the open. Our hostages have come home. I think the economic pressure coupled with peace through strength and our military might is still there on the table. We didn't give anything up other than putting our flags next to each other in a handshake. And of course, President Trump in the negotiation is going to pat him on the back and say, hey, good job, you know. That's what you do when you're moving in the right trajectory. It certainly didn't solve everything, but it's far better than, as the president said, we were 500 days ago.
All right, so if it meant that Democrats would take back the House and get Trump out of office, they would take nuclear war and a recession.
That's terrific. I love that. And what is that? That reminds me of Bill Maher saying the other day that he would invite a recession just to get Trump out. So you're celebrating the idea that Democrats would do anything
I'm not celebrating.
to get this guy out of here.
I'm stating the fact that Democrats, if they had to choose between this and peace in North Korea and, you know, the start of a positive relationship and losing the midterms, or nuclear war, but just on the Korean Peninsula, and a recession, and you guys get the House, maybe the Senate, and definitely the presidency in 2020, you would take the latter in a second.
You are Cruella de Vil. I wondered why you were dressed in black and white. Listen, the reality is I don't think anybody is rooting against a solution to what's going on.
Except for Democrats.
That's what you say. But I wanted to respond to Congressman Chaffetz. I think that we did give up something. I think we gave up an important point in terms of meeting with this man who still has, I believe it's more than 100,000
If the president didn't meet with him, you would have been upset about that, too.
No, I would not. You see, you keep coming back to this. You think Democrats are just anti-Trump, and I say this.
I would agree.
I don't like Donald Trump. I would never vote for Donald Trump. But I am pro-America.
Yes.
And so I would say, if you're telling me that we can have peace, I say, let's do it. But I don't think you do it by the seat of your pants and give up a very important element, which is conferring legitimacy on a tin-pot dictator who is cruel and torturing his own people.
But that is your interpretation of what you don't know. That is not a concrete fact. That is not necessarily a concession. The Secretary of State says verification is critical here. There has to be full verification of denuclearization. Is that possible?
That's the number one thing. That's why the president tore up the Iran nuclear deal. It didn't have verification in it to the strength that we would actually know what was going on. I was the chairman of the Oversight Committee. I asked if I could go to Tehran and actually see what oh, no, you could never even go there, Congressman. No, you don't even ask that question. That's why he tore up the Iran deal. And we all know Pompeo and
the president tore up the Iran deal because you couldn't go to Tehran?
No, but it was the
weird.
same point. There was no verification part of the process. Of course, this is
and
the
there are
beginning
side deals with the Iran deal. This thing is so complicated. It was done without Congress. Do you think the president is going to involve at least the Senate in ratifying?
Well, this is an interesting question for my friend here, the Republican, because guess what? Today you heard Republicans saying, if you make any deal, we want you to come before the Congress. We want to be able to ratify this. Yeah. And you heard from Republicans saying, we don't think it's a great idea that you give up military exercises, pleasing the Russians, the Chinese, pushing the U.S. influence.
The president's right. They are expensive. I like that thing.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. You know, sometimes you
now
think, what happened to political conversation?
You're the John Bolton.
Yeah, but isn't that ironic? And by the way, the Iranians, no nukes. The North Koreans,
we have 5 seconds. Let's give Jason Chaffetz the last word. 5 seconds.
But the President Obama gave him back $150 billion.
No nukes.
That was ridiculous.
No nukes.
I would give up my nukes for $150 billion in a second. All right.
Really?
Well, thank you both for being here. It's the Battle of the Jays. Jason and Juan.
And it went
wonderful
nuclear.
Weekend. Congratulations to you and your family.
You're very kind.
Your son is getting married this weekend, and
Thanks.
many, many years to the Williams family.
If he could only marry a Kennedy.
He and I both. All right. Very good.